Welcome to the smoke screen. We are live, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right.
We are live. Your host, Mr. Major League, and I got my boy Joe Passarelli from
That's
WEEI
right.
Sports Radio. He's here live with me as always.
The, the ignitor, the on-air and extraterrestrial delighter, baby.
Yeah,
Joey Dice. Roll it up, baby.
that's what we doing. The smoke screen is live.
That's right.
We here to smoke and conversate about some things, UFOs and alien abductions, preferably the topic. And it's just crazy how these things they branch off into so much other stuff. It's so easy, to slide off and to get into something else to talk about, because a lot of these things are interconnected. So
Oh, absolutely. And as we continue these series of videos, like that'll allow us to go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. But certainly, what we want to do today is present some basic information, some examples that you've researched very eloquently, if I do say so, my friend, and break down and get our opinions out there on this.
oh yes sir, yes sir. So a lot of this stuff is some of the stuff's known. It might not be known. People know about it. Some people don't. It's just if you do, you do. Cool. But what I want to talk about is actually it's the first publicly emphasized investigated reported case in history, which was in 1961. It was a couple by the name of Betty and Barney Hill. They they said that they were driving down the road and they were leaving. I don't remember where they said they were leaving, but they were on their way home, and it was supposed to be a few hour drive that they would be there. So they were driving down the road. They seen a light in the sky, and Barney, the husband, attempted to stop the car, get out of the vehicle, and he had binoculars on him. So he took out his binoculars to looking through the binoculars at the object. He said all he can see was it was glowing and pulsating red, amber, and like brown, red, amber, and green lights. So he panicked, got back in the car, sped away. Now he got back home. When he got back home, the couple had realized that 3 hours had passed by, and they didn't know where the time went. So a couple of days after that, Betty Hill started to have nightmares about what had happened, and then they had figured out they oh, let's go report this thing. So they went and reported it to I forgot what it was. It was like Nightcap, I think it was. It was a UFO organization around at that time, and they were like the main people to talk to if you wanted to report a UFO incident or whatever.
Remember,
So
this is in New Mexico?
no, no, no. This is in New Hampshire. This is
New
New
Hampshire?
Hampshire.
Oh, this is New England, isn't it?
Oh
This is
yeah, yeah. This
right
is
here.
this.
Obviously, you have New England roots.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm saying.
some
My
Illinois.
home. It's our home, Joe.
Yeah, man.
It ain't too far. So she started to have reoccurring nightmares and started to remember these things. And because what people have claimed from many cases is that they when they're doing these things to you, they clear your mind out and they blank your mind. That way you don't remember it directly after it happens. You're gonna know something happened, but you don't really know what it is. You just know you've been through some kind of experience.
Almost based on, a lot of times I like to connect the dots of how things are hidden in plain sight, hence going through the smoke screen. And like comparatively speaking, almost like you would see in the Men in Black movies where they would flash that mechanism at you and essentially erase your brain of the memory that had just taken place.
Exactly. Now with that right there, with that movie right there was just part disclosure, and it's what we're working towards, and that's basically what they're telling you is what they do. So what happened was they went and they seen this about doctor in a doctor, matter of fact, a psychiatrist in Boston, and I forgot the guy's name, Sigmund or something like that. Well, he
My
yeah.
dude Siggy.
Well, had him sat down, did a hypnotic regression of the memories, and when they started doing their sessions, they were intense. They were like disturbing. They she had said that they held her down on the table. She was on a table. She could not move. She was paralyzed. One of them took a needle out, a huge needle out, like bigger than she's never seen a needle this big, and they were telling her that everything was gonna be all right. It wasn't gonna hurt, and she couldn't do nothing about it. It was a painful experience. So it was basically being raped, in a sense.
Yeah,
what these things do.
on more than just a physical level too, on a spiritual level.
Yes,
essentially.
Yeah. I mean, they're there. They're whatever particular program that they're on is what they're there for. So if they're here just to take samples, of your DNA, whatever, that's just going to be a small short experience. But if they're there to find out about their reproduction, internally, if you whether you heard or not, it's not their concern. So it's kind of like,
No, they have with the word I think you're searching for, Mr. Major League himself, is empathy. And these creatures, from what I have researched and analyzed, these creatures, whatever they may be, outer worldly, extraterrestrial, government created, all kinds of theories out there, they lack empathy, they lack creativity. So this is why they can essentially like take a model and like build off it. Say like you built a car for a model, they might be able to add to the model, but they can't just like take a blank piece of paper and create, which is the Homo sapiens. We are blessed with that gift that have creativity, at least those who are tapped into it. So they're trying to almost create blueprints and to take genetic material for whatever use they may have, whether it's making duplicates or clones or hybrids or whatever the case may be. But if you want to talk about violating human rights and like to these creatures, whatever they may be, again, government made, extraterrestrial, from another universe, they obviously lack empathy and they lack creativity, and they have no qualms in doing this. But at the same time, are humans really all that? How much genetic manipulation and experimentation have humans conducted over the years? So I feel like there's good and bad and everything, but what these beings, these almost like, I've heard some can be like cybernetic like beings, almost like a Borg or a transformer or something. They lack creativity. Mm-hmm. They lack empathy. So they're literally just mindless sheep on this conquest to get more genetic material, create more hybrids.
To evolve more, see what they can do with their species to get more, just to develop more.
Very much like the Borg from Star Trek.
Yeah, very much like that. That was great. Well, I want to talk about another case that was widely known. It happened in Arizona at the Apache National Forest. I think we discussed it. I think I had mentioned it to you. The Travis Walton case. Mm-hmm. And what happened was he was a logger, and they had went to the Apache National Forest in Arizona to do some logging, and it was supposed to be like a week trip. So they had went there after a night shift, did their work, and they had happened to see like a red glow in the mist. It was 5 of them. They seen this red glow. It was like a red glow just lighting up the sky in one particular part of the forest. So they went to that part of the forest, and they happened to stumble upon an object that was floating about 5 to 10 feet above the tree line, and it was about 30 to 40 feet in diameter. It was black. It was shiny metallic, like gunmetal black. And they said that they could see it. It was right there in front of their eyes. All 5 of them seen this. And what happened was the craft had then shot a beam toward the person that was standing in the front, which was Travis, and he was the one that was basically most interested in it, as the other 4 were kind of like more behind him. So he was the first one to
afraid or tepid.
Yeah, he approached the craft. He got a little more further towards. He got right like towards it, and it shot a beam at him, and then he disappeared. So his friends just took off. Boom, gone. We're out of here. And then when they went back to town, they reported the incident. Nobody believed them. They ran to the police station. They said that they explained to them what happened. And a couple of days after, when nobody turned up, no sign of him, a missing persons report was put out, and then they ended up charging his friends with his murder and disappearance, possibly a murder, but charging them with his disappearance. So they were
coming up with a bullshit case like that.
Yeah, they were really doing this friends.
What you're telling me is that there had to been some kind of collusion between government agencies, correctional agencies, and whatever this mysterious, entity was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they know it comes together. That's what I'm thinking. They had to have been some kind of knowledge known. I mean, they had to know something about it. They wanted to keep it on the hush. You know, they didn't want nobody to panic or whatever.
And let's talk about something for a second. Like demonizing the innocent and making scapegoats. I mean, this is something that powerful entities do. And like you can go down the rabbit hole in the smoke screen with so many different, you know, takes on that. But the fact that they would just come up with a bullshit charge for his friends and just look to scapegoat it like that and just let like, you know, delegate the accountability instead of like, you know, taking the accountability or like investigating.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's some strange force that obviously, you know, abducted this individual, and they're trying to portray him like Randy Quaid from Independence Day or Randy Quaid in real life. You've seen Randy Quaid in the past 10 years.
Yep.
So this is where they use these tactics to make people come off as mentally unstable, as mentally insane. Now, this is the same government that, let's you know, just to give you an example, a quick example, that suppressed test results in the 60s on how LSD actually helped in small doses, not extreme doses, but in small doses actually helped other addictive personalities or depression or anxiety, or, you know what I mean? Or in 1978, how the Nixon administration funded all these studies to demonize pot, and all the studies ended up like made pot look good, so they just fucking shit canned the results and didn't make it public.
Yeah.
So again, it's these trying to look at Reefer Madness in the 30s. Potheads are crazy. Oh, for someone who says he was abducted, that's just insane. That he's a tinfoil hat wearing son of a bitch. He's Randy Quaid. Like this is how they demonize these people. And I personally have a lot of empathy for these people, because these are absolute victims. We're not talking about victims in society, and everybody wants to play out that word. These are absolute victims, whatever they suffered from, whether it was the government itself that conducted these experiments, or whether it was an actual ET from the Bureau, or from another universe, or from wherever the case may be, whether it was Greys, whether it was Dracos, whether it was reptiles. We don't know for sure. We weren't there. All we can do is speculate on this information. But the fact that this information is so hard to get to and so suppressed, and the fact that they want to make us all look like Randy Quaid, they want to make us look, that's the true, to me, sad element in this. And that's why when I was doing some of the research and we did the video that we had originally shot, I had discussed that that female who was like a counselor for abductees. And I thought what she was doing was so amazing, in that providing a service for these people who, you know, they're suffering.
Yeah, they're not alone. You know, they think they're alone. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to run to. You know, so they think they're alone. You know, and they're not.
They're suffering, and they're demonized by society, called crazy, patronized, if you will. And the fact that woman, well, obviously had her own beliefs in the ETs, and felt like she had her own experiences and everything, like was providing that service for people. And they showed that one, you know, that guy who was talking about his experience and getting so emotional, reminded me of the first story we was talking about, just in terms of like how, like, these people suppress these things, and then it comes to the surface through the regressive techniques that you had mentioned, you know, the past life regression and the hypnosis to get to that element of the mind that's been suppressed. And you saw the emotion that was just pouring out of that poor guy.
Yeah.
And it's, you gotta really feel for these people. I mean, like, whether, all right, let's play devil's advocate. What if they're actually just crazy and they made up this scenario in their head? Either way, which I don't believe the case, but either way,
they need help.
Suffering. Yeah. And they don't deserve to be demonized and called whack jobs and tinfoil hat wearers and alt-right or whatever is the new fucking cool verbiage, new label to slap on someone.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they do. They want to ridicule people, you know, they want to make them look crazy and make them look like they're on drugs, you know, and it's crazy. I mean, this shit, it has to stop. And, you know, we're here to try to rectify that, Joe. I mean, we could, someone's got to do something. I mean, these people need help. You know, their free will is violated. I mean, what is this? Like, completely violated.
Physically, physically, mentally, on every level, violated from a human rights standpoint. And, you know, society's funny how they pick and choose human rights stories, and you know, yeah, I mean, we could talk about how all the Nazis tortured and violated all the people in Germany, from the Jewish people and everybody, all the prisoners, human rights. But when it comes to other human rights issues, oh, we'll turn a blind eye, and oh, these people may be suffering, but oh, they're crazy, they're cast-offs, they're overpopulated anyway. Screw them, let them just, you know, elude and not get either the help or the connections they need to maybe, you know what I mean, explore further and get to the bottom of what may have happened to them. Yeah. Which is what our goal is.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like I said, if anyone out there has anything to say, any kind of incident to report, a story they want to tell that they did, you know, they don't know who to talk to, don't know who to go to, you're more than welcome to leave a comment. You know, get in touch with us. We're not hard to find. The Smoke Screen Live.
That's right.
You know,
send a DM, get in contact with us, and I think possibly maybe some other social media platforms for the Smoke Screen. Some ideas, maybe creating a Twitter or creating a separate page for the Smoke Screen. We're trying to get the word out there. Yeah, I know you do a great job on your social media of you know, spreading so much truth and awareness and what you come across, and I think you do a fantastic job.
That's right. That's what's up. I appreciate that, Joe. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to, you know, plant the seeds, if you will, you know, that way people can know, and you know, let it start marinating in their mind a little bit, you know, because it don't matter what they do with the beings, what the higher beings are saying is that it's of no consequence, no matter what we do now. What we do now is of no consequence. Nothing's gonna happen. Whatever is planned, whatever is destined to happen is gonna happen, no matter what anybody does. This cabal, this Illuminati is not gonna last. They're being defeated as we speak. The Pizzagate, one example. So, you know, we're taking the necessary steps, and the right people are coming forward, and it's gonna keep happening. It's gonna break open.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any other examples you wanted to get to of some of the abduction cases?
I wanted to talk about the Bangladesh abductions, which happened in 1976, I believe, but right around the time of the Travis Walton incident. And these guys were out. They were two twins. The last name Weiner, Jack Weiner. I'm not sure the other guy, the brother's name.
I really hope it wasn't Dick Weiner.
They were the Weiner brothers.
The worst name in the history of names.
Hell yeah, them ones had a rough time in school. Anyway, no disrespect. Yeah, so it was them and then two other guys. They were in a fishing trip. They said it was a moonless night. This is 4 days into the trip now. They've been every night was normal. They were lighting fires. The only thing that was directing them back to their campsite was the fire. They had to light a big fire just so they can get back. Just so when they're out, you know, on the lake, and they can see, oh, we paddle this way to get back to our campsite. So yeah. So what happened was they seen a light over the tree come up behind the trees. So what happened was they're staring at this thing in amazement, not knowing what it is, and it's just sitting there hovering, not making no sound at all. So one of the guys is like, oh, well, maybe what do you think would happen if I turn the flashlight on and shine the flashlight at it? You know, what do you think would happen? So let's see. So all right, well, hell. So he grabbed the flashlight and started flashing the flashlight on and off at the object. As soon as he did that, the object shot a beam down at the canoe, and it lit up the whole canoe. The canoe was like sparkling. That's how bright this light was. So it shined the light on the canoe.
It illuminated the entire canoe.
Yeah, it lit everything up, and these guys are still looking at it in amazement of what they're looking at. They just had to freeze. So now, they're in shock. They're scared. They panic. So then they start paddling the boat back to the shore as fast as they can. Now they're trying to paddle this boat. It's four of them.
Yeah, and trying to get to the shore.
Oh yeah, so they're paddling the boat now, and instead of the boat getting faster, the boat is getting slower as they're paddling away from it. So they're paddling away, and now this object is getting closer and closer. The guy in the back of the canoe is like, oh, hey, oh, shit. Oh, man, it's gaining on us. It's getting closer. It's gaining on us. It's gaining on us. So then they stopped hearing that voice. They didn't hear that no more. So what I'm saying is that the person in front of the canoe that's leading the paddle he looks back and he's not seeing. It's there one person less in the canoe as the canoe's as this object is getting
Wow.
closer. Yeah. So what's happening? So what's happening is these people are getting sucked up into this craft as they're paddling, trying to get away. So eventually, they the next thing that they remember is they woke up on shore. That was the last thing that the lead person in the canoe remember. They woke up on shore and their fire was completely out, down to the amber. Like it was just ambers, their
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, and it was a huge raging fire to
Yeah.
illuminate the forest.
So now they're like, well, damn, how much time was missing? You know. So now they don't know how they got back to the shore. They don't remember anything. So then, then the same similarity with this as the Betty and Barney Hill case. They in the Travis Walton case, they start having nightmares. It all comes back in the dreams. It's all this
Yeah.
dream. It all comes back in the dreams. They start remembering what happened, and they said that they are experienced um uh most horrific body experience. They all their whole experience was physical. I mean, they were probed. They were like held. They were held on against their will. I mean, they couldn't move. They were
God knows what
paralyzed.
they went through. Yeah.
And they said the beings that they were looking at were like they had like ant heads, like they were ant heads, like they had big eyes like an ant. It was like looking at an ant,
Huh.
like a giant ant. And and that goes back
Almost
to
reminds
a
me
different
of
country.
if you've seen Aquaman, the new Aquaman movie, where the villains, he's got like a suit that's very similar to that.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. I gotta see that shit.
Good movie.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna have to see it because I heard it was like the best movie ever. Not ever, but I heard it was like the
For DC Universe,
DC, yeah,
I mean,
DC
like,
Universe
we don't want
highest
to go
movie.
into a movie rant. I
That's
can
what
make
I'm
a whole
saying. I'm
other
like,
videos on movie rants.
that's what's up. But yeah. So there's been a lot of talk about these people, about these different kind of beings. Mantis being looking like
Yeah, yeah,
praying
Mantis
mantis.
beings. Yeah.
Yeah. Insectoids, which are the ones like the ants, like we're talking about. Ant heads with different bodies. So
Mm-hmm.
like every like creature alive, like not creature, I'm saying like insects derived from a bigger form. Like think about that. Now imagine if like you have like grasshoppers that evolved huge bigger,
Almost like on a dinosaur kind of level. Yeah.
Yeah, like these small insects have evolved into bigger things, bigger versions of themselves. They've evolved, but they're out there. That makes you think about how many fucking planets and moons there are in the whole universe. Like god damn.
Yeah, no, and like you want to talk about like symbolism. Someone like Stephen King, I go reference the movies again. Someone like Stephen King and like the It series and other movies has done a great job in using those kind of animal symbolisms of like turtles and insectoids and whatnot and Stan Lee also, quite frankly, but both have done a great job of using that symbolism in their art.
Oh yeah, and this is another part of disclosure. Everything all comes together,
Mm-hmm.
Joe. Another part of disclosure. That's what it is. So we're gonna try to rectify that, man. We wanna bring this information out, bring this truth out, and that's what we're here for.
Sometimes the truth is hard to hear, but sometimes the hardest thing to realize is it's been hidden in plain sight the whole time, and you've been blind to it, and that's okay. Like sometimes you got to put the ego aside and just learn and grow from your experiences. And it's not always about being right; it's about what's the actual truth.
Yeah,
and I think
don't be
that's where
mad.
like a lot of people get offended by this kind of because they attach the ego and can't question certain elements of things.
Yeah, they don't want to be like, oh man, they can't think. They don't want to think another way because they're like, oh man, that's the way they, it's like, no, this is the way it is, and they can't picture that it could be another way. They don't even want to think about it. They're like, nah, this is the way it was. This is the way it's been. It can't be no other way. We're the only ones around. You know what I mean? Like.
And the problem is people are so conditioned to control. Like, say if you're really like religious or Catholic, and then like for me, I grew up Roman Catholic, made all the sacraments. We actually had a great church like in Pawtucket, like with some great priests that, to my knowledge, weren't doing anything nefarious. But like you look at all the disgusting elements of the Roman Catholic Church, from not only the the human abuse factors, but the information cover-up factors, the burning the Bibles. It really is it all boils down to control, and people don't want to come to question that. Good friend of mine, his ex-girlfriend, he always used to try to tell her about truth stuff. He used to get so frustrated because she would get like close-minded about it, and borderline combative, and borderline like, you know, it's good to have an open mind. And those who are closed-minded, they may not mean to be closed-minded, but they're so used. Yeah, again, like you pretty much hit on it, Major League.
Yeah.
It's pretty much changing your way of thinking. And when you're so used to that, like you almost have to, like, it's like updating your cell phone. It's like rebooting yourself. At a certain point, the old model gets obsolete, and you have to, you know, upgrade your awareness, upgrade your spirituality, upgrade your viewpoint. I think is one of the biggest things. How you view things, your lens.
Yeah, exactly right, Joe. You're exactly right, Joe. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, the people are stuck in their ways, you know, for so long, and you know, they just can't get out of it. They don't want to get out of it. You know, they don't want to. They don't want to.
No.
I mean, they have to be forced to. I mean, like, really, you know, and you know, no one free will, man. You don't want to force nobody to do nothing. You know, people have to do it on their own. They have to open up.
I always like to say, change has to come from within. And I wouldn't be the person I am today at 34 years old had I not gone through the experience I've been through and had the will to want to take different approaches and learn and question my own way of living and my own things I was believing and open myself up to I think the most important thing is listening and not shooting people down, having conversations like this where we're not like Alex Jones, like, whoa, there's reptile people over here, and I'm just gonna scare people with my rhetoric and blah.
Yep.
Like, no, like actually have intelligent conversations where you can listen and, you know, respond. And like I said, for me, do I believe every single theory out there? I mean, no, but I'm willing to have intelligent conversations on it. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have an open mind. It's about leaving your mind open. You know, it's not. You know, don't close your mind up and, you know, block everything else and consider everything else crazy. That's what they do. They consider someone who thinks outside the box is crazy. That's their mind.
Well, you know what it is too. Life is so crazy now. So we work, a lot of us work 1, 2 jobs, maybe even 3 jobs, have kids. I know you have a daughter at home. I don't have any kids, but like, you know, trying to maintain a marriage, all these different things. You don't even have time, to even, like, you got so caught up in your routine, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And everybody's so caught up in being creatures of routine that they don't take time to meditate or maybe self-cleanse. Like, that's one of the biggest things is, like, cleansing. Dark energies can attach themselves to you, and you got to find ways to cleanse.
Otherwise, you let them build up.
Carry that shit with you.
Yep, they build up, you know, over the time, and it's just like it's a distraction. You got distraction after distraction. You got stress after stress, you know, and that's the way. And to tell you the truth, that's the way these people that's why the deep state. That's how they want to keep it. They want to keep us out of the loop. They want to keep us distracted. They want to keep they want to keep us, you know, in the hospital. People. You know, they want to keep people away from it. They don't want no one finding out about what's really going on behind their backs, you know, under their nose, like, and right in their face.
Hey, Rosanna.
Hey, Rosanna.
I'm doing a video. Give me a few minutes. Shout out to my sister Rosanna.
Shout out, Rosanna. Miss you. Yeah. So yeah, these people they're evil, man, and they need to go. So that's my opinion.
You know, and it starts from within. If more and more people start waking up and start living their lives, you know, every day to find something to be positive about, have goals. I think some of the biggest things is have goals and have gratitude and challenge yourself to grow. I think that's 3 of the biggest things. I think a lot of people lack that, besides empathy also. But like, you know, I mean, if you're just have no goals, working that like rhythm and routine, and I fell victim to it. Like, where I was in radio, I had my own show, The Strike Zone, 4 years, and I got a job with a company that did great things, but didn't necessarily, you know, once you were there, they were all about control. Like, I was a temp worker for 2 years, and it was a blessing and a curse when they hired me, because it was like, boom, there went my time. Boom, there goes overtime. Boom, there goes me being on YouTube and me being on the strike zone and doing what I was doing. And, you know, it took me leaving myself and completely almost taking 2 steps back to take 4 steps forward, cleansing myself on every level, on maybe bad toxic relationships that were creating to that as well, like all kinds of things. And like, you know, I wouldn't be at the point where I am today, where I'm working for WEEI and being a producer and, you know, pretty much being the most efficient version of myself.
Yeah. I mean, that's a blessing. I mean, it's a blessing. Things happen for reasons. Like I said, you know, things happen for reasons. I believe in that. And man, you prospered so much, man. You went from the bottom to the top. You know, and
hey man,
that kind of
it's all
thing.
about
So,
goals, and if you wake up with that mentality of how can I better myself and how can I make myself better spiritually as well as physically, you know what I mean? Like eliminate bad habits, you know what I mean? Create good habits, and you know, open yourself up to positivity.
yeah, you gotta.
A lot of negative ass motherfuckers. All you gotta do is drive on the highway and see it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It starts with yourself. You know, you gotta try to concentrate on living more peacefully. Take it more easier. Take your day slower. You know, life goes by, you know, quick as hell. So
quicker than you realize, Daddy.
you got to take your time with things. You know, concentrate on service to others, man. Try to help as much as you can. You know, the people out there need help. You know, and you know they're you know, pride's a motherfucker, so they're not gonna admit it. You know, they're not gonna come right out and say it. You know, so but they don't have to.
Pride is one of the most hidden things that's holding society back.
Oh yeah, that definitely, man. I mean, they just so they don't want to ask for help. You know, they're just like
they're scared to take the L, man. They're scared to take the L.
Yeah, I don't blame them, man. Me too, hell.
That's why people have guns and don't want to handle themselves with a fist fight. They're scared to take the L.
Exactly. You know, there's a lot of them fucking, you know, a lot of them motherfuckers out there now.
And that's why people that are so close-minded against the topic and content that we're talking about can't put themselves in that. Also, ego and pride.
Exactly, ego and pride. That's what gets you. That's what gets you ultimately taken out. in better words.
It's been the fall of many great things in life. Look at the Roman Empire. You'll get so many institutions. Pride. You know what I mean?
Pride becomes before the fall.
America's get to that point.
Yep. Pride comes before the fall.
Yeah. And I don't hate 45, but 45 is a certain level of pride and ego that is dangerous. I will say that. Oh
yeah, definitely dangerous.
That's how I call the presidents now, just by number. I won't even acknowledge their names.
Oh yeah, they're just temporary government employees.
Right.
You know, they're
like Agent K. You know, Agent J. It's 45.
Yeah, need to know basis if that.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're lucky. What is there, like 36, 38 levels of clearance, security clearance above the president, which is civilian?
I mean, that's what we know of. Who knows how many levels there is to this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what the fuck, man? Jeez, this rabbit hole is deep. It's like, I mean, you gotta jump down there, climb down there. I mean, goodness gracious, boy.
Oh yeah, you get that. You jump down those pipes like Mario. All of a sudden, you're in some weird alternate universe, like the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, you fucking see some big dragon ass like King Koopa, fucking Illuminati motherfucker down there protecting all the technology and treasure that they've been hiding.
Hybrid motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Oh shit. Well, I think that's gonna be enough time for the smoke screen, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta get ready for work. Gotta work today. So, you know, I appreciate everyone listening, everyone watching. Go ahead, like, share, comment, you know, subscribe. And Joe Passarelli's here. We're gonna go go ahead. What are you doing tonight, Joe?
I will be producing the Boston Bruins game live on 103.7 FM. You can hear that in the Rhode Island area, and you can also hear it in the radio.com app for those who listen to radio on
apps. Basically, yep. Okay. Well, y'all do that, and I want to salute the Patriots, New England Patriots, for heading to the AFC East Championship game. I'm gonna
8 straight years, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be AFC Championship game. Yeah, they
I was at the game yesterday. It was live. Fans brought it. Everything we got, like the towel said. And yeah, San Diego or LA Chargers. didn't have much electricity coming to Foxborough.
No, they needed some they needed some alien technology, didn't they?
Right. Seriously, they needed to
could've
call Tommy Lee Jones and everybody they got. Their rivers were frozen.
Yeah. And no respect, no disrespect.
Their gates were closed.
No disrespect, Philip. You know you're a good quarterback, but you ain't Mr. Brady.
Yeah, future Hall of Famer, stats alone, but
yeah, stats alone, definitely. But it's all right. Well, all right, Joe. I'm gonna hit you up a little bit later. As for the smoke screen, I'm your host, Mr. Major League. I'm gonna keep changing every week. It's gonna be something added, something taken away. I don't know, whatever.
We're always evolving, always growing, my friend.
But I'm always major, never mindless. So
that's right.
Everybody, service to others. Peace.
Later.